The Xylox Dominion fleet sliced through the void, a shimmering arrow of sleek warships cutting toward the lost sector, a region long marked on star charts as a desolate stretch of space. To the Dominion, it was a prize waiting to be claimed, a sector rich with untapped resources, ripe for conquest and colonization. Admiral Zeltor stood on the command bridge of the flagship Vraxis, eyes fixed on the holographic map swirling with star systems and asteroid belts. The lost sector lay ahead, dark, silent, and assumed empty. "Scanning for energy signatures," Zeltor ordered. Sensors hummed, scanning the dense asteroid clusters and gas giants cloaking the sector in shadow. The readings came back, unexpected and puzzling. Faint but unmistakable energy pulses, artificial signals masked beneath natural radiation. "Report," Zeltor demanded. "Multiple installations detected beneath asteroid surfaces," replied Commander Ralvek, his voice tinged with disbelief. "They are using stealth technology, but the energy output indicates large-scale habitation." A murmur rippled through the bridge crew. The lost sector was supposed to be abandoned, a relic of a past era. No other species had claimed it in centuries. "Prepare to investigate," Zeltor commanded, leaning forward. "We will not be denied our claim." Meanwhile, far below the sector's dense asteroid belts, humanity's secret civilization thrived. For generations, after Earth's collapse in a distant past, humans had fled, first to nearby colonies, then deeper into the uncharted expanse. In the shadows of the lost sector, they had built something extraordinary, a sprawling, self-sufficient civilization carved beneath asteroids, inside vast caverns and engineered habitats. They had forged a new home, hidden from prying eyes, sustained by advanced terraforming, AI-driven systems, and a society forged by survival and unity. Commander Ilara Miles stood in the central hub of the underground city, New Dawn. Screens flickered with incoming data from orbital sensors tracking Xylox ships. "They're coming," she said grimly to her council. The council chamber was packed with leaders, scientists, military officers, and diplomats, each representing a facet of their hidden world. Ilara turned to the group, her voice steady. "The Xylox think this. Sector is theirs for the taking. They don't know we exist, but we will show them humanity's strength." As the Dominion fleet descended, reconnaissance drones slipped silently through asteroid fields toward New Dawn's outer perimeter. The humans monitored every movement, activating defense protocols and preparing for first contact. "This is not a primitive outpost," Ilara said. "We have technologies they've never seen, and we've adapted this environment to our advantage. The lost sector is ours." The first encounter was tense. A Xylox envoy ship broadcast a message demanding humanity's surrender and peaceful integration into the Dominion. Ilara's response was clear and firm. "You have no claim here. This sector belongs to those who live and build within it." The Xylox envoys sneered at what they saw as primitive resistance, unaware of the depths of human resilience and ingenuity. But as the Dominion probes pushed deeper, the humans unleashed. Hidden countermeasures, AI-operated drones darted through asteroid tunnels, disabling enemy ships with precision strikes. The environment itself became a weapon, shifting asteroid fields, gravitational traps, and electromagnetic pulses. The Xylox realized too late that this was no ordinary conquest. This was a war they had underestimated. Admiral Zeltor's voice crackled over the comms, frustration clear. "This is no mere colony. It is a fortress. We will not retreat." But even he could not ignore the signs. Humanity's tenacity, their technological mastery of this hidden world, and a spirit that refused to yield. As the stars gleamed cold and distant overhead, two civilizations braced for a conflict that would reshape the fate of the lost sector and the galaxy itself. The flickering lights of new dawn stretched endlessly through cavernous halls carved from ancient asteroids. The air hummed with quiet energy, life thriving where none should have been possible. Ilara Miles walked along the observation deck, looking out at the artificial sky dome that simulated sunlight for the subterranean city. She recalled the stories, told by the elders, tales of Earth's fall, of desperation, and of hope that had driven humanity deep into the shadows of space. "We built this to survive," she said quietly to Lieutenant Mark Voss, her second in command. Mark nodded. "And now we thrive. The lost sector was our sanctuary when no one else believed in us." Decades ago, the last great wars on Earth had pushed humanity to the brink. Planet-wide devastation forced the survivors to seek refuge in orbiting colonies and distant outposts. But as conflicts escalated, those outposts fell one by one, swallowed by the chaos of collapsing alliances. In the wake of this devastation, a small fleet led by visionary scientist Dr. Liana Mercer had ventured beyond known space, seeking a place to rebuild. The lost sector was a forgotten stretch, dense with asteroid fields, thick gas clouds, and warped space-time anomalies. To others, it was a dead zone. To Dr. Mercer and her team, it was an opportunity. Using pioneering terraforming technology and autonomous AI systems, the refugees carved out habitable zones beneath massive asteroids, vast networks of tunnels, biomes, and cities hidden from the cosmos above. Ilara gestured toward the holographic map floating between them, highlighting key sectors of their underground domain. "Our engineers have adapted the natural resources here," she explained. "The asteroids provide raw minerals, while our reactors harness the energy from the gas giants. AI systems regulate everything, from atmosphere to agriculture." Mark ran a hand through his hair. "The Dominion doesn't understand what we are. They think we're primitive survivors, but we're the future." The council chambers buzzed with urgency as intelligence reports confirmed the Dominion's fleet massing beyond their outer defenses. Ilara addressed the gathered leaders. "We are outnumbered in space, but here we have the advantage. Our knowledge of the terrain and our technology can turn the tide." A scientist named Dr. Kira Voss, specializing in AI development, stood to speak. "Our autonomous defense drones are linked to the central AI Athena. She can adapt and react faster than any Xylox system. But we must remain vigilant," Ilara warned. "The Dominion will not back down easily." Far above, the Xylox Dominion assembled their forces in preparation for the inevitable confrontation. Admiral Zeltor paced the bridge of the Vraxis, frustrated by the resistance he had encountered. "These humans are unlike any species we have subdued. They have turned the lost sector into a fortress," Ralvek reported. "Their defenses are integrated with the environment. They use asteroid fields and electromagnetic traps to ambush us. Our ships are sustaining heavy losses." Zeltor's eyes darkened. "Then we adapt. We will find their weaknesses." Back beneath the surface, Ilara prepared the civilian population for the coming storm. Broadcasts went out across New Dawn, calls for unity, resilience, and readiness. Children trained in simulators, learning to pilot defense drones. Engineers worked around the clock to enhance shield generators and expand agricultural biomes. The city became a hive of purpose. As the days passed, spies reported increased Xylox reconnaissance, probing for weaknesses. The humans responded with stealth strikes and electronic countermeasures. Ilara met with her tactical officers. "We cannot win by force alone. We must outthink them, outmaneuver them." At the heart of New Dawn, the AI Athena monitored every signal, every movement. "Commander Miles," Athena's voice echoed through the control room. "The Dominion fleet is preparing for a full assault. Estimated arrival in 72 hours. Ilara nodded. "Prepare the defenses and ready the strike teams. This is our home." We will defend it. The lost sector had once been forgotten, abandoned to the cold silence of space. But beneath its rocky exterior, humanity had carved out a new destiny, one forged by resilience, innovation, and a refusal to be conquered. And when the Dominion's ships darkened the skies, they would discover a civilization that refused to surrender. The void was silent but charged with anticipation. The Xylox envoy ship drifted into the outer perimeter of New Dawn, its sleek design cutting a sharp contrast against the rugged asteroid landscape. Lights flickered as sensors scanned the hidden city below. Inside the envoy's bridge, Ambassador Velkar stood tall, his segmented exoskeleton gleaming under cold lights. His many eyes focused on the transmissions from the human leaders, broadcasts both defiant and resolute. Prepare. The communication array, Velkar ordered. We will initiate contact. On the human side, Ilara Miles waited in the command center, flanked by her closest advisors. The room buzzed with cautious energy. Keep channels open, she said, voice steady but alert. No surprises. The screens flickered, and a holographic projection of Velkar appeared, tall, alien, and imposing. Humans of the Lost Sector, Velkar began, his voice cold but diplomatic. The Xylox Dominion claims this region. Your continued occupation is a violation of interstellar law. We demand your immediate surrender and integration into the Dominion for your own survival. Ilara's expression hardened. You assume this territory is yours by right. You have made no effort to understand who we are or what we have built. The dialogue grew tense, exposing deep cultural divides. The Xylox saw expansion as their destiny, a natural evolution of power. Humans viewed survival and sovereignty as sacred rights. We have thrived here for generations, Ilara said firmly. Your claim has no legitimacy over our lives and homes. Velkar's multiple eyes narrowed. Then you force us to reconsider our approach. Behind the scenes, human scientists monitored the envoy's communications, analyzing Xylox technology and language patterns. Lieutenant Mark Voss whispered to Ilara. They're arrogant, sure, but predictable. We can use that. Ilara nodded. We must be firm but careful. Any misstep could ignite war. Meanwhile, deep within the asteroid, tensions simmered. Some factions urged caution, hoping for peaceful coexistence. Others, veterans of Earth's brutal past, argued that war was inevitable. In a private meeting, Ilara addressed her council. We did not choose this fight, but we will not back down. Our technology, our unity, and our knowledge of this environment give us an edge. We must prepare for what comes next. On the Xylox side, internal divisions grew. Some leaders advocated for diplomacy, fearing the cost of war. Others pushed for swift military action to crush the humans before they could fully organize. Admiral Zeltor weighed his options. If diplomacy fails, we strike hard and fast. But I do not underestimate the humans' capacity for resistance. As the days unfolded, minor skirmishes erupted along asteroid outposts, each side probing for weaknesses. Human drones executed hit-and-run attacks, exploiting their familiarity with the terrain. Xylox retaliated with overwhelming firepower, but found themselves stymied by the humans' guerrilla tactics and AI-driven defenses. Ilara stood on a balcony overlooking the city's sprawling tunnels, watching patrol drones buzz past. We fight smarter, she said. We use every advantage, every tool. They think they're hunting prey, but they've stumbled into a lion's den. Velkar, frustrated but intrigued, began to reconsider the humans. Their resilience and technology challenged everything the Xylox believed about inferior species. In a rare moment, he confided to an aide, perhaps this war will teach us more than victory ever could. The stage was set. Two civilizations, locked in a deadly dance of diplomacy and war, preparing for the inevitable clash that would decide the fate of the lost sector. Neither willing to back down, neither willing to surrender. In the heart of new dawn, beneath layers of asteroid rock and steel, a secret stirred. Ilara Miles stood before the chamber where humanity's greatest weapon had been hidden away for decades. A weapon born not of destruction alone, but of ingenuity and survival. The room pulsed with a low hum as the central console lit up, displaying a sprawling network of interconnected drones, defense turrets, and terraforming systems, all governed by the city's central AI, Athena. "This is Athena's domain," Ilara explained to her council. "Our last line of defense and our most formidable weapon." Athena wasn't just an AI, she was the culmination of decades of human innovation, designed to adapt and evolve in real time. Unlike the Xylox's rigid command protocols, Athena learned from every encounter, anticipating attacks and orchestrating defenses with surgical precision. But Athena's true power lay beneath the surface, literally, integrated with terraforming technology. She could manipulate the very environment of the lost sector, triggering controlled asteroid shifts, gravitational anomalies, and energy surges that turned the asteroid fields into deadly traps. Dr. Kira Voss, the lead scientist responsible for Athena, activated the system's deep core. "When the Dominion attacks, Athena will transform the terrain into a battlefield of chaos," Kira said, eyes gleaming. "Asteroids will shift, space will warp, and their ships will find no safe path." Mark Voss leaned in, reviewing tactical simulations. "They won't know what hit them," he said. "They expect a typical fight. They'll get a war unlike any other." Meanwhile, in the Xylox flagship Vraxis, Admiral Zeltor studied the reports of failed attacks and unexpected losses. "Humans are using their environment against us," he muttered. "We underestimated their connection to this sector." Ralvek reported, "Their defense drones operate with incredible coordination, likely AI-assisted. We've lost 3 skirmishers to asteroid shifts that weren't natural." Zeltor's jaw tightened. "Find their command center. We take out their AI and this whole defense collapses." Back underground, Ilara prepared the civilians for what was to come. Broadcasts rang through the tunnels, calling for calm, unity, and readiness. Families fortified their homes. Engineers enhanced shield grids. Pilots trained endlessly on simulators replicating the treacherous asteroid terrain. In the quiet moments before the storm, Ilara reflected on humanity's journey. "This weapon," she said softly, "is not just a tool of war. It's a symbol of our survival, how we turn desolation into life, weakness into strength." The first wave of the Dominion's assault arrived at dawn. Xylox ships descended into the asteroid belt, launching fighter swarms and orbital bombardments. Athena reacted instantly. Asteroids shifted, creating deadly corridors of debris, electromagnetic. Pulses disrupted enemy sensors. Autonomous drones darted through the chaos, striking with precision. The battlefield became a nightmare for the invaders. Admiral Zeltor's voice crackled in the heat of battle. "Regroup! Focus fire on the asteroid anomalies!" But the Dominion's fleet was trapped in a deadly dance, forced to navigate a landscape that seemed alive, reshaping itself at every turn. Deep beneath the surface, Ilara coordinated the defense, her voice calm and commanding. "Athena, deploy secondary defenses. Prepare for breach." The AI's voice echoed, smooth and unyielding. "Defense protocols active, engaging enemy forces." As the battle raged, it became clear. The lost sector was more than a battleground. It was a fortress, forged by human will and technological mastery. The Xylox Dominion faced an enemy that refused to be conquered, one that fought not with brute force alone, but with cunning, adaptability, and an unbreakable spirit. The war for the lost sector had truly begun. The void exploded in light and sound as the Xylox Dominion launched its full-scale assault on the lost sector. Warships blazed across the asteroid fields, their weapons tearing through debris and disrupting the fragile calm of humanity's hidden world. Admiral Zeltor's fleet pressed hard, determined to break the human defenses swiftly. They had underestimated humanity's resilience and the deadly ingenuity of Athena's AI, but now brute force was their tool. Push forward, destroy their outposts. Zeltor's command was cold and resolute. Below the chaotic ballet of lasers and explosions, New Dawn's subterranean network throbbed with activity. Humans scrambled to hold every tunnel, every corridor, every critical junction. Alara Miles stood on the command deck, her gaze sharp and unyielding. "This is our home," she said, voice rising over the comms. "Hold the line, every inch. Fighter." Pilots zipped through narrow asteroid tunnels, their sleek ships darting through debris and laser fire. They used the environment to their advantage, navigating passages too tight for the bulkier Xylox cruisers. Lieutenant Mark Voss led a squadron on a daring strike mission. "Stick to the shadows," he ordered. "Hit fast, hit hard, then disappear." Athena's influence spread like a living storm. She triggered controlled asteroid shifts that crushed enemy fighters, warped gravitational fields that threw ships off course, and coordinated drone swarms that swarmed like swarms of relentless predators. The Xylox Dominion was fighting a war it had never anticipated, a war where the battlefield itself was an ally to the defenders. Deep underground, engineers worked feverishly to repair damage and reinforce defenses. Medical teams tended to the wounded, their faces set with determination and exhaustion. A young medic, Rena Calhoun, moved swiftly through the wards. "We can't let them break us," she said, her hands steady despite the chaos. The battle's intensity escalated when Xylox forces launched a surprise assault on New Dawn's main energy core, the city's lifeblood. Explosions rocked the cavern as the Dominion deployed heavy assault units, forcing humans into brutal hand-to-hand combat in the narrow tunnels. Alara personally led a counterattack, rallying soldiers and civilians alike. "We fight together," she shouted, her voice echoing off the walls. "For our future!" Outside, the battle above ground raged on. Xylox capital ships unleashed devastating barrages, attempting to overwhelm human shields and batter the city into submission. But Athena adapted swiftly, diverting power to reinforce defenses and deploying drone swarms to intercept missile strikes. Amid the chaos, an unexpected development shook both sides. A mysterious signal pierced the conflict, an ancient distress beacon originating from deep within the lost sector. Both humans and Xylox intercepted it, a haunting call from a long-forgotten civilization that once inhabited these stars. Ilara's eyes narrowed as she studied the data. This could change everything. Admiral Zeltor, too, received the signal. His expression darkened. "If there is power buried here, we must seize it," he said. "Victory will go to whoever controls the secrets of the past." The battlefield grew ever more complex. Old grudges and ancient mysteries intertwined, pushing humanity and the Xylox Dominion into a conflict that was as much about survival as it was about the legacy of the lost sector. As the day faded into night, New Dawn still stood, battered but unbroken. Humanity's fierce will burned brighter than any star in the sky. The Dominion's strike had come with ferocity, but it had met a force that refused to break. The eerie signal pulsed through the communications network of New Dawn, a rhythmic pattern unlike any known language, resonating deep within the core of the lost sector. It wasn't just a distress call. It was a beacon, a message from the forgotten past. Alara Miles gathered her top scientists and strategists in the command center, eyes fixed on the pulsating holographic projection. "This signal," Dr. Kira Voss explained, "originates from beneath the largest asteroid in the sector, codenamed Titan's Rest. Our scans show ancient structures far beyond anything humanity has built here." Mark Voss frowned. "Could this be a weapon? Or technology we could use?" Alara nodded slowly. If we unlock what's hidden down there, it might turn the tide of this war. But the Xylox Dominion had intercepted the same signal, and Admiral Zeltor was mobilizing a strike force to seize the ancient ruins first. We cannot let humans tap into lost power, Zeltor growled. Send the elite units. Bring me that technology or destroy it. The race was on. Alara handpicked a team of explorers, scientists, engineers, and soldiers, led by Lieutenant Mark Voss. Their mission was perilous: navigate the treacherous tunnels beneath Titan's Rest, uncover the secrets buried in the asteroid's heart, and secure whatever lay within. The descent was tense. Beneath layers of rock and ice, the team entered cavernous chambers carved with strange symbols, ancient glyphs glowing faintly in the dim light. Dr. Kira Voss traced her fingers over the walls. This architecture, it's unlike anything we've seen. It predates known civilizations by millennia. Suddenly, a deep hum filled the chamber. The floor shifted, revealing a massive device, an ancient energy core pulsing with dormant power. Mark stepped closer, awe mixed with caution. This technology, it could power New Dawn for centuries, or it could be a weapon of unimaginable scale. Back on the surface, the Dominion's elite strike team was advancing, their heavy armor clanking against the rocky terrain. They were ruthless and efficient, determined to claim the prize before humanity. Suddenly, a firefight erupted near the entrance to the ruins. Mark's team moved quickly, using their knowledge of the tunnels and Athena's guidance to outmaneuver the Xylox. But the enemy was relentless. In the chaos, Alara coordinated reinforcements, her voice steady over comms. Hold the perimeter. Protect the explorers at all costs. Deep within the ruins, Dr. Kira activated the ancient device. Lights flared, and the hum grew louder, awakening Athena's sensors as well. This energy source is linked to the entire sector, Kira said breathlessly. If we harness it, we can control the very fabric of space here. Mark gritted, his teeth. We need to secure it. Fast. Outside, the battle escalated. The Xylox unleashed devastating attacks, trying to breach the defenses and capture the team. Alara led a daring counterattack, rallying soldiers and drones alike. We'll not lose this ground, she declared. The future of humanity depends on it. As the conflict reached a fever pitch, Athena interfaced with the ancient core, her voice resonating through the tunnels. Integrating new energy source, recalibrating defenses, tactical advantage increasing. Suddenly, the entire asteroid shifted, gravity waves rippling through the sector, disorienting the Dominion forces. Admiral Zeltor's voice crackled in frustration. What is happening? Retreat is not an option. But humanity had turned the tide. Harnessing the secrets of the lost sector, they had gained a power the Xylox had never imagined. The war was no longer just a battle for territory. It was a struggle for survival, and the future of two civilizations hung in the balance. The lost sector's ancient energy core pulsed steadily beneath the surface of Titan's Rest, its power coursing through New Dawn's defenses like a heartbeat, strong, relentless, and growing. Alara Miles stood at the helm of the command center, eyes locked on the tactical displays. The Dominion's fleet, once confident and overwhelming, now faltered under Athena's newly augmented systems. Prepare the counteroffensive, Alara commanded. We're not just defending anymore. We're taking back control. Above ground, human fighters launched from hidden bays carved deep within the asteroids. Their ships were smaller, faster, and more maneuverable than Xylox warships, built to exploit the treacherous terrain. Lieutenant Mark Voss led the charge. Use the asteroid fields to your advantage. Break their formations. The fighters darted through narrow corridors, weaving through shifting debris and electromagnetic storms Athena conjured. The Xylox cruisers struggled to keep up, their heavy weaponry less effective in the chaotic environment. On board the Dominion flagship Vraxis, Admiral Zeltor seethed as reports of mounting losses flooded in. "They adapt too quickly," he growled. "Their AI. It's like nothing we've faced before." Ralvek stepped forward. "Our tactics are outdated against an enemy that controls their environment. We need a new approach." Zeltor's eyes narrowed. "Then we fight fire with fire. Deploy the disruptor wave. Target their energy core." Back in New Dawn, Athena alerted the command center. Disruptor wave detected. Impact in 15 minutes. Ilara's jaw tightened. "Divert all power to shielding and countermeasures. We won't lose our heart." The tension was palpable. Outside, Xylox vessels unleashed the disruptor wave, a massive pulse of energy designed to cripple New Dawn's defenses. But Athena anticipated it. Shifting power flows and activating backup systems hidden deep within the asteroid network. The wave struck, but instead of crippling the city, it was absorbed and redirected, frying several enemy ships caught in the backlash. The tide had truly turned. Human fighters exploited the chaos, striking key Dominion vessels with precision. Drone swarms swarmed through the enemy lines, disabling weapons and engines. Ilara's voice rang through the comms. "Push forward! The lost sector is ours!" Amid the battle, a sudden transmission cut through the noise. A message from an unexpected source. The ancient AI that once controlled the lost sector's technology, awakened by Athena's integration, spoke in a calm, metallic tone. "Humans, you have proven worthy guardians. Xylox, your aggression violates the balance of this system. Cease your assault or face obliteration." The Xylox commanders hesitated, their ships faltering under the weight of the ancient AI's warning. Zeltor snarled. "Threats from ancient machines won't save you. Continue the attack." But the balance was shifting. Ilara and her team, with Athena's guidance and the ancient AI's power, pushed the Xylox forces back, decimating their fleet and reclaiming control of the lost sector. The final blow came when Mark's squadron executed a daring raid on the Dominion's command ship, crippling its systems and forcing a retreat. Zeltor, beaten but defiant, ordered a withdrawal. As silence returned to the stars, Ilara looked out at the battered battlefield. "We survived," she whispered. "Not because we were the strongest, but because we never gave up." The lost sector was no longer lost. It was home, and humanity had proven that beneath the stars, they would never back down. The void was quiet now, but the echoes of war lingered in every shadow of the lost sector. The battered Xylox fleet had retreated beyond the system's borders, nursing wounds they had never anticipated. Ilara Miles stood on the observation deck of New Dawn, gazing at the swirling asteroid belt that had become humanity's fortress and home. The ancient energy core beneath them hummed softly, its power stabilizing the fragile ecosystem they had built. "We've fought hard to get here," she said quietly. "But this is only the beginning." The ancient AI, integrated fully with Athena, had become a guardian, a silent partner in humanity's new chapter. Together, they began rebuilding, transforming the lost sector from a battlefield into a thriving civilization. Mines reopened, research stations expanded, and families ventured into new tunnels and habitats. In the command center, Dr. Kira Voss worked alongside engineers and scientists, deciphering the remaining secrets of the ancient technology. "This system could propel humanity forward centuries," she explained to Ilara. "It's a gift and a responsibility." Meanwhile, on the Xylox homeworld, Admiral Zeltor faced scrutiny from his superiors. The failed conquest had shaken the Dominion's confidence. "Underestimating humans was our greatest mistake," a council elder declared. "They are not a species to be ignored or dismissed." Zeltor's gaze hardened. "They fought with cunning and heart. We will learn from this and prepare." Back in the lost sector, life flourished. Children played among glowing fungi in bioluminescent caves. Explorers mapped new tunnels, and traders arrived from distant systems, drawn by the promise of opportunity. Alara convened her council, determination shining in her eyes. "We defended our home," she said. "Now we must build a future worthy of the sacrifice it took." As the stars shimmered above, humanity had carved out a place in the cosmos, not just as survivors, but as pioneers. They had faced the storm of invasion and emerged stronger, united by their refusal to back down. The lost sector was no longer lost. It was the dawn of a new era, and humanity was ready. The end.